Good morning, students. How are you? So, have you attended any program in our school previous year? Like 15th August, Republic Day. So, what used to happen there? Whenever we used to go in the auditorium hall, how does the teacher ask to sit? The teacher asked to sit according to the classes. Like first sixth class will sit, then fifth class, or first fifth will sit, then sixth class, then seventh class. So why do the teacher used to classify? Or how do the teacher classify us? The teacher classify us on the basis of our the classes. Like first fifth class will sit, then sixth class will sit, then seventh class will sit. So today in this chapter, at the teacher classify us on the basis of our educational knowledge. Today we will study about classifying the various things and how we can classify the things. So today our topic is sorting the material or classifying the material into the groups. What is the meaning of sorting? Sorting means classifying or grouping the materials into the groups. Okay, now just we will start. So, placing or sorting similar things. Whenever we keep the things which are similar to each other, then it is called a grouping. Like, suppose in our home, what do we used to keep at the things? Like whenever Papa brings the vegetables or fruits, so we used to keep fruits separate and vegetable separate, because vegetables are used by Mama to cook directly for the food, while fruits we can take directly. So we classify the fruit, so we group the fruit into the vegetables and the fruits. So when we place vegetables separate and fruit separate, or whenever we place similar things separate, and then this is called as grouping. What now have you got? What is a grouping? Grouping means placing or sorting the similar thing together. Objects are made of material. For example, chair is made of wood, and many things like chair is made. Some chairs are made of wood, some chairs are made of plastic, and many other things. So we keep the plastic chair aside, wooden chair aside. So the process of grouping the things on the basis of the thing, on the basis of the material they are made, or the process of grouping the things on the basis of their similarities or dissimilarities. Once again I am repeating, how do we classify the things? We classify the things on the basis of they are similar or they are not similar. If they are similar, we will keep the thing one side. If they are non similar, we will separate the things. So the process of grouping the thing on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities is called a classification. First, what is a grouping? Grouping means to place the similar thing, and when we classify the thing on the basis of their similarities or dissimilarities, then it is called a classification. As when we are in the ground, then we stand in a line. During the prayer time we stand in the line, so we stand according to the classes. So then that will be called as a classification. This will be called as a classification, as we stand according to the classes. So what do we know about the classification? Classification generally means the process of grouping the things on the basis of similar types or dissimilar types. Now we classify or we group the base object on the base different properties of the materials. See, materials have various types of properties. Materials have various types of properties like roughness, luster, transparency, solubility, attraction, heat, conduction of heat, conduction of electricity. These are the various properties of the material, and on the basis of these materials we classify the various things. On what things we classify the materials? We classify the materials on the basis of roughness, luster, transparency, solubilities, flotation, attraction towards magnet, conduction of heat, and conduction of electricity. So these are some of the properties of the material on the basis of which we classify the various objects. Now one by one we will see to each of these properties. First we will see about our first property, that is roughness. I think so you have already all have seen the ground and the difference between the tiles. Have you seen the tiles? Yes, all have seen the tiles. So when you touch the surface of the tile, you find it is very smooth. The surface is very smooth. The surface of the tile is very smooth, whereas the surface of the ground is rough. The surface of the ground is rough, that is, air is up and downs are there. Like we see the surface of the tile is very plain, while the surface of the ground is little bit up and down. Up and downs are there, little bit bumpy surface is there. So first category, the first property where we classify the substance is on the basis of roughness. Some substance have smooth surface, while some substance have rough surface. So what is the first property? First property is the roughness. So roughness we can feel by touching the surface, when the surface is smooth and the surface may be rough. Okay, example of the smooth surface you will give a smooth surface. Other example other than the tiles, you can give the example like plane mirror, and on the basis of roughness, or you can give the example of rough surface as the bark of a tree. So this is the difference between a rough and a smooth surface. Rough surface is completely smooth, whereas the rough surface is, or the surface which is totally smooth is called a smooth surface, where the surface which have little bit up and down, it is called a smooth surface, while will be called as a rough surface. Example of a smooth surface you can give as plane mirror, or you can give another example of the surface tiles, whilst on the rough surface you can give the bark of a tree or sand or a ground. Next property we will see luster. What is the meaning of word luster? The word luster means to shine. So materials that have shiny surface are called lustrous. Example you can give metal. All the metals, like example gold, silver are lustrous, which are used for making jewelry, whereas the wooden particles or the plastic or wooden particle or the paper, these are generally not lustrous. So the surface which are shiny, the materials that have shiny surface are called lustrous, whereas the surface which do not have shiny surface are called non-lustrous material. Example of lustrous material you can give metals like gold and silver, whereas the example of non-lustrous material you can give as mud, wood. These are the example of non-lustrous surface. Okay, once I'm again repeating, what are the luster? Luster means to shine. So the word lustrous means materials that have shiny surface are called lustrous, where the material do not have shiny surface are called non-lustrous. Example of lustrous, gold and silver, and example of non-lustrous, wood and plastic. Next, transparency. So what does the word transparent means? The word transparent means the material through which we can see the substance which allowed the light to pass through them is called a transparent material. The material through which you can see the either side is called a transparent material. The materials through which you can see the either side of the object very clearly are called transparent material, or the definitions comes material that allow the light to pass through them are called transparent. Materials that allows the light to pass through them are called transparent. Now you understand by these three of the diagram. See, in this jar, in the first jar, when we will see any object, we can see this, some of the materials are kept, so we can easily see this material, that is the light is easily passed through this material of jar. So this material will be called as transparent material. The material that allow the light to pass through them completely is called a transparent material. Example, clear glass, water, and the clear plastic. Second, now you can see the second object. In the second object, you can see this object, but you cannot see this object clearly. This means the materials that allow the light to pass through them, but they do not allow the complete light. They allow only the few amount of light to enter through them. So the definition comes that materials that do not allow completely light to pass through them are called translucent material, or the material that allow partially light to pass through them are called translucent material. Example, you will write oily paper or colored glass or colored water. Colored glass or colored water does not allow the complete light to pass through them, so these will become under the category translucent. Like example, you can see a colored jar through which you can see the object, but you cannot see exactly what is inside the object. That type of material are called the translucent material. Now the third category here comes is the object through which we cannot see, like in our homes or in our tiffin box. Mama cooks the tiffin box for us, so, or in our compost box, we can not see what is inside it. Until we will not open it, we will not able to see the plastic compost box, what is inside it. So the object which does not allow the light to which do not allow the complete light to pass through them, or the object which do not allow the light to pass through them are called opaque material. Example, wood or iron. Suppose you cannot see outside without the window, that what is either side of the wall without using a window. You cannot see now. You can see either side of the wall without the window? No, we cannot see, because wall is an opaque material. So the material which do not allow the light to pass through them is called a opaque material. Example, you can write rock, wood, iron. These are the material that does not allow the light to pass through them, and hence they are called as opaque material. Next, state. State generally means that the substance are in which physical condition. State generally means that the substance are in which physical condition. For example, substance may be either solid, or the substance may be either liquid, or the substance may be either gas. The substance which are either solid, either in the solid condition or either in the solid condition. For example, you can see ice. Ice is a solid. Whereas water is in the liquid form. And where is the gas? When we heat the water, you will see the water turns up into the steam, and so the steam will becomes under the gaseous state of the water. So ice is a solid state of water, whereas water itself is in a liquid state, and the steam can be considered as the gaseous state of the water. Now one by one we will look at some of the properties of each state. Good. Next, first category, solid. Solid have definite shape and definite volume. Solid, the example, solid have definite shape. You have seen all the solid particles, they have a fixed shape and they have a fixed volume. You haven't seen any solid particles that does not have a fixed shape. Either they may be circular or either maybe they have up and down, but they usually have some of the shape and they also have a fixed volume. Second, they cannot be compressed. You cannot compress or you cannot compress any particle to a large solid particle to a large extent. When you will compress it to a large extent, it will break. When you will put a pressure on both sides of any of the solid object, so what will happen? When you will put pressure on any solid object, it will start breaking. So a solid cannot be compressed. Next category is the liquid. Liquid have definite volume but no definite shape. Liquid have a definite volume but no definite shape. Liquid take the shape of the container in which they are poured in. Suppose you take a glass of milk. So if you are placing the milk in a glass, it will take the shape of a glass. When you will pour the milk in a bowl, it will take the shape of the bowl. If you take the milk in any other beaker, it will take the shape of the beaker. So they do not have fixed shape, they take the shape of the container, they only have the fixed amount of the volume. Next, what? Compression state. So liquid can be compressed to a small extent, but they cannot be compressed to a large extent. They can be compressed but only to a little bit amount, but not to a large amount. Next, gaseous state. So gases neither have fixed shape, neither have fixed volume. Gases neither have the fixed shape. Whatever shape you give, suppose you blow a balloon, so they will take a shape of the balloon. If you take a shape of if you put it in a you have seen when the gases are filled in your or tires, so they take the shape of the tire. So they do not have fixed shape, neither they have the fixed volume. Whereas the gas are highly compressible, you can compress the gas as much as you can do. Next, solubility. So what is this the word solubility means? I think so solubility means the substance can dissolve some material dissolve or completely mix with a liquid. So what is the solubility? The solubility is the property of the material to mix in a liquid. What is the solubility? Solubility is a property of a material to get dissolved in a given liquid. Got this? So first we will see about the solubility of solid. So solid substance that dissolve in a given liquid are called soluble substance. The substance which dissolve in a given liquid are called as a soluble substance. For example, you take 2 glasses of water. In one glass you add sand and in one glass you add sugar. You will see sugar will get completely dissolved in water while sand will not get dissolved in water. This shows that salt or sugar is a soluble substance, where sand which do not dissolve in a liquid, it will be called as insoluble substance. So the definition comes: substance that dissolve in a liquid are called soluble substance, while the solid which does not dissolve in the liquid are called the insoluble substance. Next, solubility of liquid. So there are some liquid that get dissolved in a given liquid. Suppose take a milk. As a milky man comes to your home, so what the milkman do? Milkman used to add some of the water in your milk. So it's in the same way, and you cannot identify what is milk and where is water. So the liquid which dissolve in the given liquid are called as the miscible liquid, as substance which completely dissolve the liquid which dissolve in the given liquid are called the miscible liquid. Example, milk dissolve in the water, and water does, or lemon juice dissolve in the water, and the substance which do not dissolve in water are called the immiscible liquid. We can see this by an example. Take two beakers and add water in both the beakers. Now in first beaker add a milk, and in second beaker add some amount of oil. So you will see that the milk completely get dissolved in the water, whereas the oil does not dissolve in the water. So oil is also a liquid and water is also liquid. Milk is also liquid and water again is a liquid. So water and milk completely dissolve with each other. This shows that the water is a miscible liquid, that is the substance which get completely dissolved in water, whereas oil does not get dissolved in the water. This shows that the oil is an immiscible liquid.